Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? Super happy to be here with you today. I hope that you are doing well and that you are going to enjoy this card. I really think it's a cute one, and I hope that you're going to love it as much as I do. I've been having so much fun with the Zany Zoo Bundle that I had to do a second week with it. Who knows? Maybe week 3 is inevitable. I don't know if I can stop creating with these guys. They're so cute. Anyway, let's move along. I have also paired it with the stamp set Good Feelings. It's one of those word sets that I use a lot. You guys have seen me use it before. I use it often and I love it. And so we're using the Hip Hip Hooray, I'm So Happy For You, out of the Good Feelings. We're using Best Borders again, or Basic Borders, I think, not Best Borders, Basic Borders. You guys know I use these dies all the time. Nested Essential dies. These are new in the catalog. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. They're fabulous. And then, of course, Give It a Whirl dies for some clouds. You guys know I always use Give It a Whirl dies for hearts and clouds and fun shapes. So get them already. What are you waiting for? When you just start working your way through the shape dies, that's what I do, a little at a time. And then every time I put an order in, I just toss another shape die in because you gotta have them. They're fantastic. They are the staple behind most of my stamping. I mean, you could take any stamp set and toss a shape die with it and you have a fantastic card. So definitely check out the Nested Essentials and the Give It a Whirl dies if you don't have them. The Give It a Whirl dies are an interactive card die, but they're fantastic for so many other things. It doesn't just have to be for that. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to get off my soapbox. And let's put this stuff in action, right? Let's get to work. All right. Move my stuff out of the way. Make some room. All right. Put the card in the corner. As always, we have a base for our card. And this one is 8.5 by 5.5. I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. And this is Pool Party. You guys see me use that Simply scoreboard too. If you guys don't have it, I don't know what you're waiting for. Don't wait like the Stamparatus and then have it disappear and then you'll wish that you had gotten it. All right. So this is the base of our card. And I used the border dies and I used this one right here, the rounded one. And I love these dies. I use them often. I mean, a lot. I use them for clouds. I use this for like a different kind of flap on my card. So if you don't have these, they're fabulous. You got to get them. And then I cut out of a piece of smoky slate, you know, just a scrap piece that was at least 5.5 inches, right? Maybe, I don't know, 1.5 inches tall. Yeah, about 1.5 inches by 5.5. And I went ahead and just cut a little piece from this die. See, it didn't make it all the way across, right? I wanted it to be kind of blunt on that one end. And I wanted to form kind of like a road that they were on, or a cul-de-sac that they were all hanging out together as friends, rolling around outside in the pretty weather, right? On the cul-de-sac. And we are going to do a little ink blending. So I'm going to bring in a scrap paper and we're going to start with basic gray. I'm not going to use a lot of it because it is dark. I didn't want to use smoky because I wanted it to be a little bit darker. So I'm just going to rub off most of that darkness. And then I'm going to start on the edges and I'm going to fill in that. I want it to be kind of like the asphalt, right? They're riding around with their friends in the cul-de-sac, hanging out, having fun. And I'm just gonna barely get that edge. So you have that lightness in the center of the smoky slate, and the outer edges are that basic gray. We're gonna use basic gray for the ink on the inside, but for right now, we're just gonna pull out the pool party and we're gonna do a little ink blending with it. So we'll flip back to this side that has lighter colors. We're gonna start up here. I'm gonna get each corner at a time. So we'll start here and get that corner, work our way. You can see I'm moving my card. I wanna get the corners all the way down. Make sure I got this one all the way down. All right, then I'm gonna work on the centers. All right, so we're gonna add some color, just lightly brushing, and then pressing harder in parts as you're, rotating your brush in a circular motion. You definitely want there to be like gradation of light and dark pool party on this card. And I think that you guys can see it's subtle, but it is worth it. It's worth taking the time to do this. Okay, so now we're gonna start prepping. So this is going to be glued right down here. So we can go ahead and do that, get that out of the way. Let me grab my mat and my multi-purpose glue. Okay, my card is just slightly longer, so I'm going to use my paper trimmer. And I'm just going to bring it right to the line and slice a little bit at a time until I get everything off of that end. I just want to make sure that I'm in there and that I'm good. All right, I got it. You got to double check that you got it all the way, right? Because if not, how are you going to do it? All right, guys, so the next step that we're going to do is we're going to stamp our Hip Hip Hooray on that banner there. We're going to use a scrap piece of basic white cardstock. We're going to use our pool party. So hip hip. And then hooray. Whoa, didn't mean to drop that. Let's go ahead and clean that before I make a complete mess. Luckily, Pool Party ink is fairly light and not a problem. And the Hip Hip Hooray is from that Good Feelings stamp set. If you don't have that, get it, because I just have a feeling that it's going away. All right, so we're gonna fussy cut this. So I'm gonna separate them into 3 pieces. It helps me when I fussy cut if I have smaller things to hold on to, like smaller sections. And so I'm gonna keep the hip as one word. So I'm just gonna go all the way across the top, and first pass, I'm just gonna go all the way around, leaving just a white border. Now when I come this way, I'm gonna have to dip in because my P is not a square letter like the H. But we have most of our work done for us already, okay? I'm gonna do the other side at the same time. We're gonna do them together because we're doing the same thing. So we're gonna do top and bottom. And then you're gonna work down the side of the H, and then we're gonna come in and round around that P. All right, so I'm showing you get to see it twice. So if you missed it or you don't really understand what I'm doing, You should understand by the second time through, okay? So that's what we have so far, okay? Now, all I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna make sure that my lines are nice and straight. And this one's just a hair off. And then I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna snip with the tip of my paper snips. That's why I love them. They let you snip. I'm gonna come in from the back here and snip that. I'm gonna just dip in slightly where the in between the H and the I in a triangular fashion. Okay, so there's one. And we're gonna dip in here also. I actually think I'm gonna square this. I don't like it triangular. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing I did with the H, only I'm gonna do it with the I and just pretend it's like an H. And then we're gonna do the same thing here with the P. So you basically just cut little divots out of that section and you're gonna do the same thing at the top. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. And then you're just gonna snip those pieces away. So it looks harder than it is to fussy cut, but it's actually pretty simple. So see, there's the first one. And I'm gonna show you one more time. So you're not, in case you see all those little speck pieces here on my piece. That's where they came from. Okay, so again, snip, 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 snip. And now we're gonna get rid of those, right? We're gonna come in from the back, bring our blade in between and snip that away. There's that little tiny rectangle. We're gonna come in here, do the same thing, slip it in, snip that one away, and do our last one, and then we'll flip to the other side. You can see this is very easy to fussy cut because it's kind of just, except for that little rounded part of the P, very easy. All right, and then the Hooray will be a little bit more straightforward, I think. Let's finish up our word hip. So we have hip, hip, and then we're gonna do the Hooray. I think this is a super fun sentiment on the front of a card. And then the inside is gonna say, I'm so happy for you. So it's a great congratulations card for any occasion. It could be for graduation. It could be for retirement. It could be, I don't know, even for birthday, right? All right, so let's go ahead and finish. I'm gonna move our hip over here. All right, and we're gonna start fussy cutting, and I'm just leaving a little border all the way around like I would do if it was a critter, only I'm doing words, right? So I'm gonna do the same kind of in and out and around. And as you can see, I'm not really moving the blade very much. I'm using my left hand to pivot my paper to bring it around and slowly get my nice outline. And if you move your paper very smoothly, you should get smooth cuts. It does take practice, like anything in life, right? The more you do it, the better you get. I love this card. This is so much fun. All right, let's see. Yeah, we're almost to the home stretch. Almost there. We have the center of this R. And around the R, we have to do our 2 O's and then our H. And then we are done. So there's 1 O. Almost done, guys. Let's get rid of that to hold on to this end. I don't like having any extra paper. It gets in my way when I want to do some intricate cuts. And so I like having just what I need to hold on to. to finish those up. All right, so we're just doing the top part of this H, working our way around that loop there. All right, and I have a little kind of a sharp piece there. I'm gonna snip that away. That's why I love the points, and I didn't get quite close enough around this H when I started. All right, so there's hip hip hooray. Let's throw these into the trash. All right. Let's make our banner. So I just drew this banner on a scrap paper, as you can see. And I'm just gonna lay this down. And I'm actually going to just cut it. Well, let's go ahead and trace it. I was not gonna trace it, but let's just go ahead and trace it. But all I did was draw my own little banner. I just followed how I thought a banner would look if it was blowing, right? If it was like a long banner, and then, you know, they're racing around on their wheels, right? So it's gonna be blowing in the wind from their movement. So when I drew this, I just went up, down, and I didn't connect this end. So I just went dip down, dip up. And then I followed that. Since I had already gone down, I repeated it. Dip down, dip up, and I stopped. And then I turned it towards me, and I did the two pointed ends. I drew those how I wanted them to look. I erased them a couple times until I got the right look. And then I just cut it out to use as my guide. So literally it's dip down, and then I just used a scrap piece that I knew would be big enough. This is Lemon Lime Twist. That would be big enough for the banner that would hold, you know, my scrap paper there that I had cut this banner out of. And that's all I did. So it's very simple to make your banner. You just have to take your time. And like I said, you'll just dip down, dip up, dip down, dip up, and then do your forked ends, your pointed banner, and how you want it to look. I didn't cut that very well. I'm gonna come back in here and trim a little more. All right. So now we're gonna flip it because the pencil mark is on the back, right? Throw these away, and let's go ahead and attach our banner. I just cut 1/8 of an inch piece of pecan pie. I don't know if it's the right length. I'm probably gonna have to trim it, but I just used a scrap that I had, and then this is going to get attached like so, and it's going to be the banner. So see, it's not rocket science. Just do what we can do. And every one of them is going to be a little bit different, right? They're not all going to be the same. So we also have 2 clouds that I got from the Give It a Whirl dies. So I cut those 2 out. We have little anteater fella. We have our bunny. We have our swan. And then we have our fox. So let's do a little coloring. I'm gonna, the roller skates of the swan are lemon lolly. So let's give our fox some accessories in lemon lolly. And this is light, I believe. Yeah, light lemon lolly. So I'm gonna give him his little handlebar and his inner wheel. Whoops, wrong part. I can cover over it. Sorry. Whoops, his seat. All right, we're gonna give him some yellow accessories. Let's cover that piece with. That's what I love about blends. You can cover your mistakes when you do them. All right, so there is the wheels. I'm using a smoky slate light. And it's the color that I used for the puff puff behind him. And all for the ground for all of them. I'm gonna color the wheel on my little anteater here. All right, what else needs to be colored? Oh, the wheels of my bunny little scooter, little push scooter. All right, and then what else needs to be colored? I need a light pool party because I want to highlight my swan, but I don't want to color it. So I want to add just a hair of color that's gonna fade and be much lighter, and it will just accent the wings and the legs and a little bit down here. Okay, so that's all the coloring on him. And then we're going to use light petal pink for the bunny, because again, I don't want the bunny to be completely pink. I want to add a belly, the hands maybe, and then we're going to just go around and accent the parts of the bunny that we want to add a little bit of color on. We'll do the ear back here and the ear down here. Very happy with that. Slight color. All right, so the anteater is the only one that's getting glued to the back. The banner is also getting glued flat in the clouds. So the swan and the bunny and the fox are going to get dimensionals. So let's get them prepped. Let's put the dimensionals on them. I think that the swan is mostly going to need small ones, but we'll put 3. Same with the bunny. It's kind of too small for these big guys. The fox might be a little easier. His head. All right. Let's fill in with the babies, with the little ones. I love these little baby ones. And then we'll use our custom ones that we cut from the edges, right? I love that we can do that. Whoops. My little bunny got lifted up. The head. Foot. All right, let's do some long pieces. All right, so we're gonna do this piece here where the leg is, the neck, let's put another one there. We'll do the ears of the bunny, one and the other, and then we're gonna do the poof poof on the fox. We definitely need that right there. All right, I think the rest is good. Maybe one more on that leg. Right there. All right. And then we're gonna do hip hip hooray. I'm gonna put a long thin piece on the hip hip hoorays. Right there in the center. And here's the other one. Oops. And then we're gonna do small cuts for the letters that just need a little bit of reinforcement, because you definitely don't want them to dip down, right? You want them to have enough coverage. Then we're going to do our hooray. That's the other part that will be lifted. All right, let's put our hooray up on here. Move it up so you guys can see what I'm doing. I really love using these little long skinny ends, and I don't know if you guys do this at all or how you go about popping up. Maybe let me know in the comments. Do you cut your edges like I do and do these little thin intricate pieces, or what do you use if you don't do what I do? I'm curious, because teach me something, guys. All right, so there's that. So now I have everything that's going to be popped up, has dimensionals on the back. Let's get the pencil out of here. We're going to start gluing things down. All right. Let's move this over to the side. Bring in our card. All right, so our card is going to have this little stake here. We got to bring our hip hip hooray down. And we need to leave room for our ribbon. So, should I tie my ribbon now? Yeah, I'm going to tie my ribbon. So the ribbon, I didn't cut it because I just pulled it as I went along and decided how much I needed. So I just started by putting it inside. And at first I wasn't going to tie a bow. I was just going to do a knot, but then I hated it. It was too skinny to just have a knot, so it definitely needed a bow. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. All right, that's about how much ribbon I have. So take a peek, and I want to make sure I'm not twisted. The little ribbons can get twisted, and I don't want that to happen. I mean, the skinnier they are, the easier that they twist, right? We can tie it anywhere, and then we can bring it to the front. I mean, slide it around. So the first thing we're going to do is just go ahead and tie. Okay. And then we'll tie our bow. So I'm going to hold that. I'm going to make my loop. Make our loop a little bigger this time. Since last time I didn't know that I was going to do that, I cut it shorter because I thought I was just going to hang tails. And then I had to make it happen. Oh my gosh, look how loose that is. I can't have that, guys. Cannot have that. Let's see if I can tighten that at all. Oh, I don't like loose bows. Let's see if I tighten that a little. There we go. All right, so now that I have my bow in place, or where, you know, how I want it, I'm gonna put my loops together. I'm gonna make them flat for right now. And I'm just gonna slide it in. And of course, you know, we have to make it behave. So we're gonna slide it over about right there. Bring that up. Get a mini glue dot. Make it start listening, and we'll worry about making it pretty at the end. But I do want to mark it and put it in place, okay? So that's where it's gonna live. So now that I have it where it's gonna go on my card, it will be easier to attach our banner end. Our bunny wants to come with our ribbon. I don't know why. This ribbon is fabulous. Look at how cool this ribbon is. Look at that. It's pretty fantastic. All right. Let's figure out where we want our banner. I think I'm gonna put it about right there, and I wanna trim it off. I don't want it to be all the way to the bottom, so that's good. We'll throw that away in a minute. And I'm gonna just put a line on my card, if I can get it started, of glue. And push it out. Okay, and that's how I'm gluing this thing. Putting it down. Had it grabbed a little too tight. There we go. Slide that into place. All right, so now I have my pole that my little banner is gonna live on. Now we're gonna glue our banner. I have all these guys on here, so I have to move them. My bunny. My words hip hip hooray. I don't know where hooray is. Oh, here it is. I'm moving everything off of here. Let's throw this away. All right, we're gonna use this to glue. That's what we use it for. So this banner is gonna go up. So this is the side that's getting the glue. This is such a fun card, I think, and I hope that you enjoy watching me make it. So I want to put the banner on there like that. And I think I want to raise it. So I'm going to tuck the ribbon underneath my banner like that. All right. Yay. We're also going to put our clouds, and I don't want my banner to stick too hard before I can tuck this cloud in. So let's get it going. And we're going to tuck this cloud behind the banner. Like right, yeah, there. Okay. And we're going to add our other cloud behind the end of the banner. The banner is like the little star of the show, isn't it? So we're gonna tuck everything like this. There is our second cloud. We'll use our, wherever I lifted up the banner, you can use your bone folder to push it back in place and get it to grab like that. All right, so our anteater is first. He's kind of like right there. We're just gonna kind of place them where they're going to live. Put him here. We gotta have our fox. You gotta figure out where they're going before you can actually make it happen, okay? So that's how it's gonna be. So let's move these guys. The anteater is kind of in between those two clouds. It's the last wet glue piece on the outside of this card. So he's gonna be kind of on his little unicycle, like right here between those two clouds. All right, now we can take the backs off. You have to be careful that you don't rip any of the animal pieces. Remember, they're cut and they're delicate. So you wanna be careful when you wanna hold right near the piece that you're trying to use your take your pick tool. Of course that's gonna get stuck on there because it's crazy. All right, so as I pull these off, I'm going to attach them. So let's put the fox on. He hangs out over here with his friend, the anteater. Beep, beep, toot, toot. Let's put our bunny. And you can see that I'm holding on where I'm pulling. I don't want this to tear. So if you hold it and it gets nice and stable, you can pull and not rip the ears off the bunny or any of that good stuff. Okay, make sure that this is tucked under there better. It was showing. I didn't want that to show. Okay, so there's our bunny. And then our swan. And the swan has a lot of loose things, so really hold on when you pull the backs off of these guys around your little swan. You don't want to hurt her or him. All right, let's see. See? Gotta be careful. Gotta rip that if it was a neck or something. All right, last piece. All right, I think we're good. So we're gonna put our swan. I want the little part of the ground to kind of cover where that pole is, because I want it to look like she's holding it, right? She's holding this banner that they are rolling around in the cul-de-sac with because they're celebrating and having a good time. School is out and it is summer and they are having fun together. It's fun to not have to go to school and to just have fun with our friends. All right. I know you guys remember those days. I do. Okay, so we're gonna do hip, hip, hooray. So cute. Look at that. Okay, so we're not done. We still have to do the bow and make all that pretty. Let's do the inside. So for the inside, we're using one of the Nested Essential dies. I love this new die set. Brand new. First thing I got out of the catalog. Had to have this and the Paper Florist dies. Had to have them. Loved them both. If you missed my Paper Florist week, oh my gosh, I had so much fun with those dies. It was an entire week of using the Paper Florist dies, so check that out. It's a playlist in my YouTube. This is the largest of these, this shape here. And I cut it out of basic gray. And it is going to be the inside. Right here in the center. Isn't that awesome? When they open that and they see, oh my gosh, look how cute. And look, we have another wheeled creature. I forgot to pull that one out, I think. Let me see. What did I do with you guys? I gotta grab an alligator. Alligator. I thought that I had him, but I did not. Here he is. Isn't he so cute? Okay, I just realized that, like, I didn't even color the one that was here. Oh my gosh, he needs a basket. A basket. Let's color the center of his little wheels, his pedals, and maybe that piece there, his seat. How cute is he? All right. His seat. All right, and then let's use light smoky slate and do the wheels. What color should we make the bike? Pool party? I think so. I can't believe I forgot the alligator completely. I must have been tired. Because that is not like me. Let's do pool party for the bike. See, I sing when I color. All right, there he is. Super cute in all his glory. Precious, precious little guy. So this is gonna say, I'm just so happy for you. And it is also from the Good Feelings. So hip hip hooray, and I'm so happy for you. This is a fantastic set. I love large sentiment sets. I think they're amazing. I'm going to bring this down so I don't have to stick my head in the camera to try and get this even. And if I am not perfect, I'm good with that. But look at how cool that sentiment is on the inside. You were not expecting that alligator, were you? You thought all the fun was on the outside of the card, but you have to put some fun on the inside too. There we go. Let's clean the stamp and attach our last two pieces on the inside, and then we're going to do a little embellishing on the outside. Thanks for sticking with me all this time, guys. I think that this card was worth your time. Super fun. And you can always fast forward through the video as well, you know. I would appreciate if you guys left me some comments. It really helps with the algorithm for YouTube to share my videos with others. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that share button and sharing my video as well, I would be greatly, greatly appreciative. All right, so there is our Nested Essentials die. Doesn't that look amazing as it is? But when we add this little alligator, next level fantastic. Oh my gosh, so cute. I might have to buy a second pack of the Zany Zoo paper because it's just too cute and I can't stop making cards with it because it's so precious. Look at that. Let me use my roller to push that alligator down really well. Oh my goodness, I love him. I will link the roller in the description below. It's a 2-inch roller. Let's fix the bow on the outside to make it cute. Okay, so once I've tied my bows, how I make them cute is I play with the tails. I play and puff up the little loops. And this one's a little longer than the first one because I cut the ribbon longer. I was gonna tie the first one just like have them hanging down like this, and then I changed my mind. So I think I'm gonna make this a little bit shorter. Okay. I love when they're small and pretty. And then let's trim these ends. Let me grab my ribbon scissors. Fantabulous. What do you guys think? Let's get rid of that little tiny speck that I see on this cloud. Can't have a speck on that cloud. Look at my cute cards, guys. Zany Zoo Bundle. Don't miss it. Basic borders for our little cul-de-sac. Good Feelings stamp set. Nested essential dies. And do not forget, as always, give it a whirl dies for the clouds. I just thought bigger clouds would be cuter on this. There are small clouds if you don't have the give it a whirl dies. There's baby clouds in the Zany Zoo. I'll show them to you. See? Teeny tiny cloud. But it works. You just have to put more of them. But hey, if you can get the give it a whirl dies, I use them all the time for lots of things. Oh, I forgot to put our embellishments. So this is the 4-pack of the tinsel gems. There's 2 different color tinsel gems. You have the 4-pack and the 3-pack. And this is the 4-pack. We're going to use the lemon lolly ones. Let's put a small one right here. And then 2 big ones. Let's put one down here and one up here. I almost forgot that. All right, guys, I hope to see you here on Tuesday night for the live. Please come at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love to share my time with you and hang out with you for a little while and show you a really cool card. You're not going to want to miss it. It's pretty fantastic, if I do say so myself. Thanks for being here again. I greatly appreciate you and all of the time that you spend with me. If you haven't gone to my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com, it's also linked in the description below. Check it out. I do have more detailed photos of these cards that I make and projects. And there's days that I am not on YouTube that you will find content on my website. So check that out and make it a favorite, bookmark it. And I will see you guys here next time. Thanks for being here. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!